A peaceful protest was conducted in Awka, Anambra State capital, a few days ago by the Labour Party faithfuls who called on the Anambra State government to ensure the release of their gubernatorial candidates in the last election, Obiora Agbasimelo. Stanley Okoli, a chieftain of the party, while recalling what transpired during the election, said the government should not keep silent on such a matter, noting that their duty was to ensure the safety of life of its citizens. He reiterated his call on the government to do the needful.
On the 18th September 2021, between 3 and 4 p.m., between Ezinifite and Lille, the governorship candidate of Labour Party was heading to Asia for a New Yam festival. Between Lille and Osumo, he was abducted. I read some reports that he was in Imo State. It wasn't in Imo State. Lille is in Ihiala local government. Osumo is in Ihiala local government. And the Aza, the destination where he was going for a New Yam festival, is in Ihiala local government. Ihiala local government is in Anambra State. I'm here to throw more light on the protest we did a few days ago. The protest rally. Free our candidate, Obiora Agbasimelo. Yeah, it is as a result of the abduction of our candidate, Obiora Agbasimelo. On this September 18th, 2021, he was abducted. Up till now, our state government has not made any comment on that. It's more or less like nothing happened. The election was conducted fraudulently, though. Labour Party is the leading party in this election. We conducted our primaries with the guidelines of the INEC, and Obiora Agbasimelo came out victoriously. And it was done peacefully. Everybody was happy, and everybody joined hands in trying to get him elected into the Agwoka. We did our primaries with the guidelines of the INEC, supervised also by the INEC. We fulfilled all requirements by the INEC in electing our candidate. Secondly, we did our flag off in Awka, though not without incidents. We approached the state government because we are citizens of Anambra State, and the Ekweme Square is for Anambra State. It's not for a particular political party. We were turned down with flimsy excuses of renovation. We all know there isn't anything to renovate there. But we were denied the access of using that particular facility. But that is not even a problem. We managed to secure Finotel Field, which was big enough for us. If you watch the clips, you will see our members. They turned out en masse. We have over 60,000 members that were involved in the flag off. After that, we went to Onitsha for a mega rally. To start with, INEC gave guideline of how this election is to be held. We are supposed to have 5 mega rallies. Flag off, 3 mega rallies in 3 senatorial zones, and then the closing rally, which we observed judiciously. We did our flag off, and then we did our mega rally at All Saints Cathedral. We don't do rented crowd. We have over 140,000 registered members who we have been having meetings day in, day out, month in, month out for the past 3 years. And they believe in this young man, Obiora Agbasimelo. Our movement have been doing a lot of things to help the less privileged, to move this state forward. The state has been stagnant, if I may use that word, for quite some time, for about 7.5 years. After the Onitsha rally, if you look at the clips, you can deduct what is the difference between the real members and rented crowd. You don't need anybody to tell you that. Then you check NEEDFUL rally. We did all we need to do, follow the INEC guidelines. We do our campaign within the ambit of the law. We touch the souls of the people that needs to be touched. We have done everything possible. After these rallies, the other political parties think abducting our candidate will shut us down. And that is what I believe they did. Our candidate was abducted. We even tried to keep it low and see if he's going to be released before the election. But other political parties, example PDP, start throwing fake rumors around that we've thrown in towels, that we are supporting them. Labour Party has collapsed, they are supporting them, which never happened. You know, the shocking thing is that the ANAMBRA state government, having known what they know, with the constituted authority bestowed on him as the chief executive of the state and the chief security of the state, never blinked or made a single comment about a leading candidate in an election that is as serious as a governorship election. Never, no comment whatsoever. As if nothing happened. The INEC also never blinked. They never said anything, no comment about it. Only in the passing, one of the stakeholders meeting they held, that they mentioned candidates being abducted, this and that, this and that. Nothing more, nothing less. Up to today, it's over 3 months now. It's about 3 months. We're still in the same thing. That prompted this our protest rally. The Labour Party has done everything humanly possible, and according to the law, did our campaign properly. We looked at the state. We find the state in a deplorable condition. The roads are now death traps. Meanwhile, it was a lot better more than 7.5 years ago. But now what we inherited is lack of maintenance, terrible facilities, left, right, center. All those things we've been working hard to change. But what are we seeing? The INEC went ahead and conducted a fraudulent election. Let me tell you why I call it a fraudulent election. The materials, the sensitive materials, arrive every venue more than 1 p.m. As against 8 a.m. they are all supposed to arrive. That's one. Secondly, the modern or the ultra-modern or whatever they call that BVAS machine, which has not been tested anywhere, was brought in and it's not constitutional. The BVAS is called Bimodal Voters Accreditation System. That system is flawed and they never tried it anywhere. And they should have planned for, they should have plan B. The former card reader, the plan B they did was, if you can't read, they use incident form. But this time around, no incident form and the machine is not working. 90% of the venues they used it wasn't working. Wherever it was working, accreditation was difficult. Due to the abduction of our candidate, our members, all the Labour Party members, went back into their shell and didn't want to participate in this election. They didn't participate in this election. For example, we are supposed to have 11,440 polling agents. None wanted. We have them on the ground. We have them written down. But hence our candidate is not available. None of them took up the tag. None of them went to the booth. Our members all didn't bother going to the polling booth. Because who are they voting for? They are clamoring for Obiora Agbasimelo, the youngest candidate ever in Anambra history, to vie for this governorship election. They all said they are not even going to step out and go to the pool, because who are they going to vote for? And we are now left with this kind of style. How can a referee and the linesmen wear the same jersey as a particular team, and you expect the result to be fair? The 21 local government caretaker chairmen are all APOGA stewards appointed by the state government. They are the ones moving the sensitive materials and the INEC officials around the state. Even in the collation centers, they are the ones sitting down there. The SAs, they are the ones using their vehicle to move them around. I wonder how you expect to get a fair result out of this kind of conduction. And the incumbent party was given an undue advantage in this election. Number one, very undue advantage. Since the history of, since 1999, this current political dispensation started, I have never come across the kind of election conducted on the 6th November and 9th November 2021. The first time I'm hearing a state governor mandating the whole state workers, if you don't vote for APOGA, you lose your job. It started from the primaries. If you don't vote for a particular candidate in the primaries, you lose your job. And if you don't vote for APOGA, you lose your job. Then what is democracy? You came in from a different style and you brought in this style, and you expect that after this kind of conduction, the state will be okay. I very much doubt that. This election was conducted with about 10% of the registered voters in the state. How can 10% represent the goodwill of Anambra people? We have over 2.5 million registered voters, and those that participated in this election were less than 300,000. Yet, it can be adjudged. People think the election was free and fair. It was not. It was not. It was not. It was heavily fraudulent. Actually, the truth of the matter is, from the machine, you can see that this result was actually written before this election. They were just waiting for them to come up with a number of accredited voters for them to roll out the result which they have written. Otherwise, you will see that 80 to 90% of the venues that these BVAS machines were used didn't actually work. So how did they come up with the result? There are some venues that they never even visited, but they have results. This is 2021 election of Anambra State. The true picture of it. The election has come and gone. But I want the federal government and the appropriate authorities to look well into this election. It never represented anything close to what the Anambra people wanted. The election was not actually what they want people to see. It is a flawed and fraudulent election. I am asking the federal government to look deep into it. If it's possible, let them cancel it outrightly. Conduct the election with the appropriate machine and get this post. Let us elect somebody from the heart of Anambra State, not by what the state government wants. They have undue advantage. They have big advantage over people, over the rest of the political parties. And that's why they could come out and say this. How many states can say that they can elect a governor with 113,000 votes when that state has 2.5 million registered voters? State government. It's not even federal election, state. Check all the senators, add their various votes. Then you'll be able to know exactly what happened in November 6th. If you check Anambra South from Ifeanyi Uba, check Central from Senator Uche Ekwunife, North from Stella Odwa, add it together. And then this one is only a singular election. Yet we have less than 10% of registered voters. Please, I want the constituted authority, especially the federal, to look into it. Outright cancellation will be fair and rerun it with appropriate machine. That BVAS, it could be a good one if it's functional, but I think it's a deliberate act to rig this election. That's what made that BVAS not functional, and the result still rolled out. I wonder how. But let me not take my eye off the ball. Our candidate that is missing really turned this election into the favor of APGA. If he was in the race and free from his abductor, we have the numbers to take this victory to Labour Party. If you ask me, I will say Labour Party won this election. We never participated in this election, but we have more than 2,800 votes. If it's possible, let them look well into this election. It's painful, but there's no one can do except speaking out. And we now speak out. This election is flawed, is fraudulent. It was not done properly. It was not conducted as an independent National Electoral Commission should and known to be doing. I don't know. I have never seen a particular party being the transport of sensitive materials left, right, center. Our candidate is missing. That election shouldn't have held in the first place until that thing is addressed properly. Giving us chance to substitute if we must substitute. We tried to do everything possible to move on with this election, but our members could not participate because we don't have a candidate. The state government to step up and do what it should do. Go and look for Obiora. Is your citizen. Go and look for him. The election has come and gone. It is evident it was due to this election that he was abducted. The election is over. Please step up and go and find him. You can. You have the wherewithal to do that. You have all the security apparatus under your care. You can move in and free this young man. In conclusion, our appeal still remains that the state government should do something. Start to do something and let the world see that they are doing something in pursuing the release of Obiora Agbasimelo. The governor is the chief security of the state. So when we have a security issues, he should step up and live up to his post. That's what we are after now. Even if he calls it a Christmas gift, let it be a Christmas gift, or let him move up, use every means available to get Obiora out of the captives.